Yeah, students, let's discuss some important chemical reactions. Class 10th, chemistry, applicable to both CBSE and ICSE students. Number one, there's a yellowish colored compound X. It is photosensitive. Photosensitive means material on which when sun rays are incident, there's some chemical reaction. In fact, for PV cells are known as solar cells are also photosensitive. Well, they produce current, but here there are some other substances, chemical substances being proved. So yellowish color compound X is photosensitive. On exposure to sunlight, it gives grayish substance. Why? In the brown fumes, those fumes rising up, they are brown in color. And let's say this belongs to gas Z. Identify X, Y, Z. What it will be. So this is students silver bromide. On exposure to sunlight, it gives Ag. This is your Y compound. This is your X compound. This is yellowish in color. And silver bromide, this is photosensitive also. And then the fumes, brown fumes going up, that is, brown fumes, Br2. If you want to balance this equation, 2Ag, 2Ag bromide. On exposure to sunlight, AgBr undergoes decomposition reaction, right? To obtain AgBr, if you want to obtain AgBr, how can you add? You can add sodium bromide solution, sodium bromide solution. When I talk about solution, it's aqueous in water. Ag silver nitrate, again aqueous. You add AgBr, if you want to get AgBr, you add sodium bromide solution into a test tube containing silver nitrate solution. So when you get this, you get AgBr, right? Down arrow means, solid, plus sodium nitrate, NaNO3. Obviously, one will be aqueous. When two reactants are aqueous, definitely one product will be aqueous and one precipitate or one solid thing you will get. Second, metal X generally turns black when kept in open for several days. The metal, when rubbed with toothpaste, again starts shining. Number one, identify the metal X. So the X is silver. When we keep it for a long time, for several days in open, it turns black. Now, what is that? Second part, why do metal X turns black? Name the phenomenon involved. Phenomenon is that chemical reaction. Why it turns black? You see, students, silver react with sulfur compounds. We have hydrogen sulfide in the air. Silver reacts with that and it gives us Ag2S. What is that? Silver sulfide. Silver sulfide plus H2 gas. This is a reaction, right? Name the black substance formed and write its formula. Well, this is a black substance formed. Obviously, this is gas, you know, silver sulfide. Number three, when potassium iodide solution is added to a solution of lead, well, it's written lead 2. That means Pb plus 2, right? Lead nitrate. When potassium iodide solution is added to solution of lead nitrate in a test tube, a precipitate is formed. What is precipitate? So you take makhan, butter, and you heat it up. It gets converted into ghee. But what you will see most of the time, some in Punjabi we call it chitri, some white stuff, sticking to the surface. Well, these are exactly precipitates. So in chemical reactions also, sometimes we get precipitates, sometimes we don't get. So what is this reaction? Tick. Once again, he says potassium iodide solution is added to solution of lead nitrate in a test tube. Precipitate is formed. Number one, what is the color of the precipitate? Name the compound precipitate. So the answer is yellow precipitate of lead iodide, that is PbI2 is formed. Second question is, name the balanced chemical equation for this reaction. So this is lead nitrate PbNO3 2, because you see NO3 nitrate ion, what is the valency? Yes, oxygen 3 atoms into -2, so it's -6. 3 1 oxygen atom is short of 2 electrons. 3 oxygen atoms will be short of 6 electrons. Nitrogen is 7 7 is 2 5 7 protons, 7 electrons. So let's say it can share all the 5 electrons, so like 5 positive. So N and O3 plus 5 minus 6 is ultimately -1. So -1 is the valency of nitrate, right? So lead is 2, so plus 2 -1, so it becomes PbNO3 2. Aqueous plus potassium iodide Ki, both +1 -1, so it becomes Ki. It will cancel. Aqueous will give you PbI2 solid. I told you one will be aqueous to potassium nitrate. This will be aqueous. Then list two types of reactions in which this reaction can be placed. So this reaction can be placed in what kind of two types of reactions? So one, this is precipitation reaction, because this is precipitate, right? You can also put an arrow showing this is a precipitate. And then double displacement reaction, because lead is also getting replaced by potassium, and here potassium is getting replaced by lead, so it's double displacement reaction. Next, fourth, classify following reactions into different types, right? Well, let's leave this, this is sort of simple. Okay, then let's see. Metal X acquires a green color coating on its surface on exposure to air. Number one, identify the metal X. Name the process involved. Number two, name and write chemical formula of the green coating involved. Number three, list two important methods to prevent this process. So students, can anyone tell what is this metal which gets green coating? Any student?
Copper.
Beautiful. Who said this? Harmandeep Singh. So this is copper. Now, what is the name the process involved? What is the process involved?
Corrosion.
Beautiful. The process involved is corrosion. Had it been iron, we could have said it is rusting. Rusting word particularly we use with iron, and with other metals we use corrosion. But the process involved is same. In both the processes, oxides of metals are formed which stick to surfaces. But in case of aluminium, It doesn't really cause so much harm. Okay. Then name and write chemical formula of the green coating formed. What is the chemical formula of green coating? Chemical formula of green coating is CuCO3 dot CuOH2. This is the chemical formula of green coating. Number three, list important methods to prevent this process. Well, you can do painting or you can do galvanizing. Well, this is galvanizing. What is that? Coating of iron with, yes, anyone? Galvanizing in galvanized iron is also there. GI sheets, galvanized copper is also there. Galvanizing process means coating with which? Anyone? Coating with zinc metal is always known as galvanizing. Let's go to fifth question. Let's try to do as many questions as possible. On adding a drop of barium chloride, barium BaCl2, you really have to be expert in writing this formula. And how do you do that? Just write Ba, write its, you know, what it's cation, Cl is anion, write its valency -1, crisscross, it becomes Ba1, no need to write, Cl2 goes here, BaCl2. Barium, adding a drop of barium chloride solution to an aqueous solution of sodium sulfide, sodium sulfite, sulfite. Sodium sulfite is, anybody knows the formula? Sodium sulfite, Sargunkar, Na, yes,
Na SO3
no, it's Na2SO,
Na2
Na2SO3 sulfite, it's -2, so 2 will come here. Adding a drop of barium chloride solution to aqueous solution of sodium sulfite, white precipitate is obtained. What is it? Now let's write the balanced chemical equation of the reaction involved. Anyone can write Na2SO3 sodium sulfite, obviously solution aqueous, plus barium chloride also aqueous, BaCl2 aqueous. Now see that here it's coming to my mind, both are aqueous, could be possible. It's a double displacement reaction, as we had already observed when we were classifying different reactions. So would become, yes, any student, this will become barium would come here, sodium would go here. Come on, can anyone try? Ba,
barium sulfite and
beautiful,
sodium chloride.
and sodium chloride. Formula is always NaCl. Beautiful. How can we balance this? Cl is 2, make it 2 here, and it becomes 2, and is already 2. SO3, fine, this is already balanced. You have to write the states. This is solid. Both are, obviously, this will be a precipitate, right? So, what other name can be given to this precipitation reaction? Anyone? This is double displacement
Displacement.
reaction. Come on, students, come forward and speak. This world needs good leaders like you. Third, on adding dilute hydrochloric acid, HCl, in dilute form to the reaction mixture, white precipitate disappears. Why? Very good question. You know, what's that? On adding dilute hydrochloric acid to the reaction mixture, white precipitate disappears. What is that? So what we got is, this is the precipitate, BaSO3, barium sulfite, right? This is a precipitate. This is white precipitate. Obviously, state is solid. I'm adding HCl. Obviously, acid means acids are going to work. Better acid, the better rate at which it gives us H positive ion, right? If acid is weak, we say at lesser rate it gives us H positive ion. So, hydrochloric acid, very good acid. It gives us BaCl2. BaCl2, this will be aqueous, barium chloride plus H2O, obviously liquid, plus SO2 gas, right? This is sulfur dioxide. Now, as a reaction product, barium chloride, barium chloride, you know, is water soluble. It gets solved in the water, so the white precipitate disappears. Beautiful. Sixth question. Give an example of combination reaction which is exothermic. Anyone? You combine two things and what you get is heat coming out, bubbles of heat coming out. We have done it so many times. Any combination reaction used for painting your home? Yes, Falgun?
Quicklime.
Quicklime, beautiful. Calcium oxide, solid plus. Come on, students, what do you add in this?
H2O.
You don't add milk, you add water in this. What does it become? Come on. Ca, calcium hydroxide.
OH2.
Yes, CaOH2, which is aqueous plus heat, Q. So this is an exothermic reaction because it produces heat, right? It's an endothermic reaction if it requires heat for the reaction to happen. Number two, identify the oxidizing agent and reducing agent in the following reaction. H2S plus Cl2 is equal to HCl plus S. I'm not writing states. Obvious. H2S is a gas with a smell of rotten eggs. So, which is an oxidizing agent. So, oxidation process is, I want Mansimra to tell me what are the three different possibilities of oxidation reaction quickly. Addition of oxygen. Sargun, removal of
Hydrogen.
or removal of,
Lose of electrons.
correct, instead of saying losing removal of electrons, better say remove loss of electrons. And if it is opposite, means removal of hydrogen, I'm sorry, removal of oxygen, gain of hydrogen or gain of electrons, it is known as
Reduction.
reduction reaction. Beautiful. So guys, which is the oxidizing agent and reducing agent in this reaction? Anyone? Which is oxidizing agent? So see that in H2S, what is lost? H2S becomes HCl. Can anyone tell which atom is lost? H2S.
Sulfur.
Sulfur is lost, but losing sulfur or gaining sulfur doesn't come in the preview of oxidation and reduction reaction, right? So now what is important? Loss of hydrogen.
Hydrogen.
There were two atoms of hydrogen. In HCl, we have only one atom. So this is definitely H2S has been reduced to HCl because of chlorine,
Chlorine.
right? Because of chlorine. So chlorine has help in the oxidation, right? So I'm sorry, I said wrong. H2S has not been reduced to HCl. I'm sorry. H2S has been oxidized to HCl because removing hydrogen is oxidation. I'm so sorry. So chlorine is the oxidizing agent. Now, what has been reduced, students? What has been reduced? in this reaction, reducing agent is H2S. Why? Reducing agent is H2S. Think about this. Why? Okay. Third one. Name the phenomenon due to which the taste and smell of oily food changes when kept in for a long time in open. Suggest one method to prevent it. Yes, sir, Mandeep Singh.
Rancidity.
Rancidity. Beautiful. Mandeep Singh is really progressing. Rancidity. What is it? Rancidity is a phenomenon of, that because the taste and smell of oily food changes when kept in for a long time in open. So it's oxidation of fats and oils present in the food material. Okay, we got this one also. How can we prevent it? So we can either put it in container where nitrogen is there to prevent oxidation, or we can put it in airtight container. All right, guys. Fine. Now let's go further. When solution of silver nitrate and sodium chloride are mixed, once again, silver nitrate and sodium chloride are mixed, white precipitate is formed. The ionic equation for this reaction is very simple. Ag positive aqueous plus chlorine negative will give us AgCl, silver chloride. What is the name of the white precipitate? What is the name of white precipitate? The white precipitate is AgCl. Second, is it soluble or insoluble compound? Silver chloride, students, had it been soluble, it's an insoluble compound. It's insoluble. So that's why, it will be like a precipitate. Okay. Now, is the precipitation of silver chloride a redox reaction? What is redox reaction, students? Sargun?
which includes both reduction and oxidation reaction.
Happening simultaneously. Beautiful. Now, is it a redox reaction? NaCl, sodium chloride plus silver nitrate gives you AgCl plus NaNO3 aqueous. Forget about the states. Is it a redox reaction? So, this is not a redox reaction, students. It's not a redox reaction. The reduction, see through it, and oxidation are not happening simultaneously. Okay. One more thing. See that, students, Ag positive cation and Na Ag positive and Na positive. Both these cations have exchanged their anions, NO3 negative and Cl negative, and a precipitate of AgCl is formed. It's an example of double displacement and precipitation reaction. The last sum, students. On heating blue colored powder of copper to nitrate. Once again, on heating the blue colored powder of copper nitrate in a boiling tube, copper oxide, which is black in color, oxygen gas and brown gas X is formed. Write the balanced chemical equation for the reaction. Can anyone suggest? Copper nitrate, CuNO3 2, as it is copper 2, so copper plus 2, right? Fine. CuNO3 2 solid when you heat this, it becomes CuO, copper oxide, nitrogen dioxide. Well, this is brown. This is your X gas. And we have oxygen gas. CuO is black. And obviously this mostly oxides are solid. Okay, this is a reaction. A brown gas X is involved, that is nitrogen dioxide. What is the type of reaction? Students, any student, what is this type of reaction? See,
Decomposition.
one reactant is getting split into or is helping formation of three different products. So what is this? Decomposition.
Decomposition.
But it's not the right answer. It's not the complete answer. Why? Because heat is helping this decomposition. So we call it
Thermal decomposition.
thermos. Heat is prevented because of the vacuum formed between two layers. There's no air. So it is not able to go outside. Your tea is hot for a long time. Thermal equilibrium, thermal decomposition. Okay. Identify the type of reaction, thermal decomposition. What could be the pH range of aqueous solution of gas? Now, students, the acid is 0 to 7 pH value and bases are 7 to 14. 7, little more than 7 is the life-saving liquid, that is water. Pani. Avan Guru, Pani Pita. Okay, so little more than 7 is your water. So say no to arrow, which gives you acidic water, at the same time taking out most of the things which are important for your body also. Unless and until your water is contaminated with heavy metals, better never use RO. I would strongly uh, request, as requested by the Nobel laureate Osborne, that your body, if your body is alkaline, generally, it will never help the growth of cancerous cells. If your body is alkaline, stay happy. Have a nice time.